Hello everyone, today we're going to be seeing the second experiment of our Unix lab. We have 5 questions. The first one is write a shell script to find the greatest of 3 numbers. The second one is find the grade for a given mark. Third one is the internal external marks from the user and check pass or fail. Fourth one is an arithmetic calculator, and the fifth one is to check whether the entered character is a vowel or a consonant. So let's check it out. The first experiment, yeah, the greatest of 3 numbers, as we can see, echo and enter the 3 values. Now I've used the read command to read number 1, number 2, number 3. Now I've used the if statement. The syntax of if is if, then else if is written as elif, and then elif then, and then else, and then we mark it with fi, which is exactly the reverse of if, to mark the end of the statement. So if the number 1 is greater than number 2 and number 3, then it is number 1 which is the greatest. If number 2 is greater than number 1 and number 3, then it is number 2 which is greatest. Then if both these conditions do not satisfy, then it is the number 3 which is the greatest. So this is the logic which I've used, and let's run the program. sp1.sh. Enter the 3 values 7, 9, 3. So 9 is the greatest. As you can see, the logic works. Now for the second program, yeah. Now this is our our grade analysis. So enter the marks for grade analysis, and I'm reading it into a variable known as mark. And as you can see, I'm using if else statement again. Now the syntax, as you can see, is if then elif then, and finally we close it using fi. So the same from 90 to 100, it is the A1 grade. From 81 to 90, it is the A2 grade. 71 to 80, B1. 61 to 70, B2. 51 to 60, C1. And 41 to 50 is C2. Anything else other than that is F grade, which means you failed. So we're going to check it out. sp2.sh. Enter your marks for analysis. Let's try 89. It's congrats, you've passed with an A2 grade. Now let's try something else, such as 30. You have failed with an F grade. So the second experiment is done. Now we're going to be seeing the third experiment. Now this is a calculator that we have. So I'm entering 2 numbers, which is num1 and num2, and also enter the operation that you want. The operations that I've included are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. More number of operators can be added as required. So for now, I've used a switch case. The syntax of a switch case is case, then the variable with which the operation has been entered, and then in. And here are the operators that I've given so far, which is plus, minus, multiplication, and division. So the respective functions are done with the variables. Now checking the output. Now sh, and then enter 2 numbers. I'm going to give it as 5, 7, and the operation is, let me just give it as plus, and the answer is correct. Let's run it again, and let me give it as 100 and 50, the operation as division, and I get the value as 2. The third one has been completed. Now for the fourth program, we have we have our internal and the external marks, and now as you can see, the internal marks have been taken for 40 and converted to 100, and the external marks have been entered for 100. Now the thing is, the internals have to be greater than 50 and the external marks have to also be greater than 50. Only then the person passes. So as per that, we have checked, and then we again reduce it to 100% and we display the final result. Now the output. The logic that I've used here would be just with variables. That is, the internal marks first are divided by 40 and then multiplied by 100 to make it out of 100, and then the final contains the internal and the external marks added, and then the final marks are going to be divided by 2. So now my internal marks, let me give it as 35, and my external marks as 90. Now, it shows me that I have failed because then the marks have to be greater than 50, and here marks are less. So this has been done successfully. Then I have my, sorry, VI. SP5. Now here in this program finally we check whether it is a vowel or not. So as you can see, enter the letter, read L. The letter has been stored in the variable L, and we're using a switch case which is case L in case A, E, I, O, U, and the default is star. Now the break is indicated by two semicolons, and the end of the statement is indicated by just the opposite, which is ESAC. Now running. Now let's see SH. Enter the letter U. It is a vowel. And I'm going to try Y, not vowel. As you can see, it has been successfully. We've gotten the output successfully. With this, we complete the second experiment of our Linux lab. Thank you.